You might just as well be bad all the time. 3 nice things happened today. One was that I got a package. It was from my granny. She sometimes just mails things off to us when she sees something that we might like. It doesn't have to be our birthday or anything. There is a note which says, "I thought you would love this." And when I unwrap it, I really totally do. It's a Ruby Redford notebook with a padlock. No one can read anything you write unless they have the key, but you wear the key on a special secret necklace, so nosy Parkers will never find it. And they don't even know it is a secret Ruby Redford notebook because it doesn't say Ruby Redford on the front. It just has a fly on the cover which disappears when you tip it. It's a typical thing Ruby Redford does, i.e., not draw attention to her secret ideas. Inside, it has all these Ruby Redford rules and useful facts and things. Things like how to survive an emergency, or what to do if you are being tailed by an arch villain, or how to fake being asleep in a realistic way. It's got all these good tips and clever advice, like Ruby's rule of never get on anyone's bad side if you want something from them. It sounds like a simple rule, but it's surprising how many times one can forget this. I decide that I'm going to use my Ruby Redford method to write down all sorts of suspicious things I see and interesting things I overhear by accident. Even Betty Moody doesn't have one of these, and when I get to school, she says, "Wow, Clarice Bean, you are lucky." Then the second good thing which happens is Betty gives me a badge that she has made on her badge maker machine. It says CB in red printing. It stands for Clarice Bean, of course. Betty has one that says BP, which stands for Betty P. P is Betty's middle name. It's just a letter, not a word. She made it up herself. You probably know she got the idea for badges from Ruby Redford, who has a badge on her pants with RR on it. And her friend Clancy Crew has one with CC on. Hitch doesn't wear a badge because he has a suit and it wouldn't look right with a badge on it. The third good thing that happened is there's this teacher who's arrived at our school. He is from Trinidad on exchange. We have sent them Mr. Fellows. Why people do exchanges is to learn what it's like to do the same thing that you normally do, but in a different place. My older sister Marcy is on an exchange at the moment in France. What she is learning is French, and what I am learning is you are much more likely to get a turn in the bathroom if your older sister is in France. Anyway, our exchange teacher person is named Mr. Something, I'm not sure what. He wears sneakers, everyone is talking about him, and some people are going to get him as their teacher just for a few weeks. Betty and me see him in the corridor and we go up to him and we say, "Sir, we like your t-shirt," because it has a picture of a swimming dog on it. And I say, "It's exceptionally nice." And he says, "Thanks, CB and BP," which is really funny. We say, "What is your name, sir?" And he says, "PW, but you can call me Mr. Washington." We can tell he's a funny person. He is a very funny person. He has a different kind of accent because he is from Trinidad, which is in the Caribbean, which is where my aunt named Marguerite was from before she met Mom's brother, Uncle Al, and they had my cousins, Yola and Noah, and now they live around the corner. And Granddad's favorite sports player is from Trinidad. I hope we get Mr. Washington as our teacher. He seems really nice. I draw a picture of the picture on his t-shirt in my Ruby notebook because it had the kind of thing that interests me. Stay cool. After lunch, Mr. Wilberton says, "Mrs. Greenford and I will be conducting auditions for the school play that will be taking place during lunch break, and anyone who wants a main part must come along. I will not be revealing what the play will be until afterward because we do not want any silly showing off." I am really utterly excited, and I am hoping for a good part this time. Last year I was a carrot. I had 2 lines, and one of them was, "I am a carrot." I have no interest in playing a speaking vegetable. It's not realistic. I don't mind people using their imaginations to come up with strange and unusual things, but this is not interesting because who wants to know what a carrot would say if it could talk? The answer is no one, that's who. Because a carrot has spent its whole life underground in the dark, growing into a carrot. And then it gets picked, so it has nothing to say for itself. It has not had an interesting life, even if it has met a worm. Anyway, me and Betty Moody are very excited to know just what the play will turn out to be. We are hoping it will not be one Mrs. Wilberton has written. She is completely crazy about dance. So absolutely everything has to end up dancing, even if it is a cheese or a wasp. The auditions turn out to be really stupid. We have to do things like pretend we are trees growing in a forest and then hop around like squirrels, and things that have got nothing to do with acting as far as I can see. And I'm just standing there minding my own business, trying to be a stupid squirrel. And Mrs. Wilburton tells me off for absolutely no reason at all. It is utterly dreary and not fun at all in any way. When I get home from school, Manal runs into the kitchen and bumps into the table and knocks over a glass of water. And Mom says, "Do you think you two could go and run around in the yard until you have calmed down, please?" And I say, "I wasn't even calmed up." And she says, "It's been a long and tiring day, and I'm not in the mood for silliness." You see what I mean? You might just as well be bad all the time, because you get in trouble for it anyway.